Hello, Namaskar, and welcome to the Future Journalist Challenge 2025. This platform portrays and promotes the creativity and talent of young and budding journalists. Today, we take a deep dive into the top 5 news stories shortlisted from over 50 impactful entries. Stay tuned as we explore the voices that shape tomorrow's journalism. Hello everyone, this is Sankal from MMIT Lohegao, here to show you the 3 haunted locations of Pune, with the first one being the Khadki War Cemetery. As you can see behind me right now, there are over 1600 graves of World War II soldiers. I came here hearing from the whispers around the area that said that they hear marching of boots usually during the full moon nights. So I came here to experience whether this is really haunted, and yes, I do have an eerie feeling about this area. I even went inside the graveyard, but then I wanted to get out as soon as possible in a hurry. You can also see that the area itself is very scary, as you can see beyond the road as well. So this was Sankar reporting to you from Khadki War Cemetery, MMIT News, Pune. So it's early in the morning and here we are at the Yeroda Mental Hospital corner. This entire place is very haunted. 50 years back, there have been many tragedy accidents where the patients committed suicide by hopping over these walls, and now we have barbed wire and the height has also been raised. There are also these trees that are themselves very scary. When the pedestrians walk at night and when they reach home, they have reported unconsciousness and different type of sickness. So many of the localites have also reported seeing spirits of the ghosts that reside in this area. This is an infamous location, but this is surely of consideration. This is also the road, as you can see. So this is the Yeroda Mental Hospital corner, me, Sankal, reporting from here. So dawn time is almost over and here we are standing at the Symbiosis College Road, as you can see, and this is the Symbiosis College behind me. So I used to pass here at 9 PM during the night for my work purposes, and there used to be this flickering light. I researched about it and asked to the locals as well, and the reason is that this entire road is haunted. So experiences include like the light keeps flickering, as well as the pedestrians who pass by may faint and the dogs start chasing the empty spaces. Personally, I feel very uneasy over here, and if you want to experience, just be very careful and have a companion with you.
Welcome back to our breaking news coverage for this evening. Pune, the bustling hub of Maharashtra, is grappling with severe traffic chaos yet again. The city's roads are becoming a daily nightmare for the commuters. Today, the traffic congestion has brought parts of the city to a complete standstill. What's causing this turmoil, and how are the citizens coping? To get us a clearer picture, we now go live to our reporter Angel on the ground.
This is what struggle looks like for them to cross roads to travel from one place to another. The typical scene during rush hour in Pune. This city, home to 3.5 million vehicles, faces severe traffic congestion daily. Major routes like Sihagarh Road, Karve Road, Mane Walewadi leave commuters stranded for hours in the traffic. This is Angel Road here reporting live for NDTV, bringing you the latest updates from Pune. A city grappling with an increasingly chaotic traffic situation as you see around Mumbai. Let's dive into the ground reality and ask the local commuters how they have to struggle every day. so seriously. As the day progresses, police traffic takes a turn for the worse, especially during the evening rush hours. The number of vehicles has skyrocketed to an astonishing 700%, with an increased traffic congestion and pollution level. Pune now has over 663 vehicles per 1,000 residents, with two-wheelers comprising a significant portion. Commuting has now become a nightmare. What used to be a 30-minute drive now takes over an hour. Experts are now advising alternative modes of transportation such as metro, buses and cycling. As Pune continues to grow, the solutions to its traffic challenges will play a crucial role in shaping the city's future. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Signing off, this is Angel reporting live from Pune. Jai Hind.
Hello and welcome to Pune Book Festival 24.
We are your host Satyam Davkar and
Pranav Barne.
I am Srej Batsate. We will take you through highlights of festival. Over the next few hours, we will be meeting authors, publishers and book lovers from all over India.
So let's dive in and see what the festival has in store for us. With over 600 bookstalls, the festival showcases a wide range of books spread across multiple genres such as fictional, non-fictional, poetry and in regional languages also such as Urdu, Hindi, Marathi and Sanskrit. So what do you feel about this festival and organization?
So it's very well organized, obviously, and important here ki it's a place where everyone can come centrally and look at wonderful new authors and books that are coming in. All the events obviously is a plus. भयंकर मजा येते. It's a very nice situation to be in. As a Punekar, नक्कीच सगळ्यांनी यावं इथे and we should look at all the possible reading. I've come with my daughter, so it's like easy for her to like pick up a hobby as well.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend this to everyone.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, any book which is your personal favorite or any author, sir?
Actually, Dhruva Bhatt is one of my favorite author. And the books related of Mahatma Gandhi and Swatantraveer Savarkar are the basic my inspirations from normally the authors of books.
Sir, what do you think, sir? Do you think that any changes according to you will put a more impact on this festival? Your personal think on this event, sir?
No, actually, this is quite impressive. Actually, this is the first time where we got to normally we saw the very much exhibition or related to industrial. This is the first time I visited that where so much of books are there. It's an overwhelming actually experience. Great.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
So what specific age group are you targeting?
From early readers to class 11, 12 and also a good collection for their parents, teachers, principals, librarians. So, for all age groups basically.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. That's a very good initiative and I congratulate you and all the best for the future. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for visiting.
This Pune Book Festival has also created 5 new world records. So this Pune Book Festival was not only about buying and selling of books, but it had also many other events such as
cultural event, events for children, and there is also food stall here and you can also interact with authors.
That's all for today from Pune Book Festival. I hope you have enjoyed the coverage. Have a good day ahead.
Utkarsh Dakhore, a 25-year-old engineering student, allegedly murdered his parents. Career talk with son turns deadly. Let us understand what really happened.
Hello and welcome to our breaking news segment. I am Akshat and today we are bringing you a shocking news from Nagpur's Kapil Nagar area where a 25-year-old engineering student Utkarsh Dakhole allegedly murdered his own parents. According to the reports, Utkarsh had been failing in multiple subjects. This led to frequent arguments with his parents who wanted him to quit engineering and shift to the native place at Belwada. His father Leeladhar also advised him to take admission in ITI and take up farming on their agricultural land.
Continuous family disputes ends in tragedy. The situation escalated on December 25 when Utkarsh had a heated argument with his parents. In fit of rage, his father slapped him. The humiliation and anger of Utkarsh led to his actions on December 26. The investigations revealed that Utkarsh had been involved with the wrong company and have been using drugs. This could have led to his erratic behavior. On December 26, he strangled his mother and stabbed his father to death. Utkarsh left the bodies at home and took his sister to uncle's house, saying parents have left Bengaluru in order to attend a meditation program. Neighbors noticed a strong stench of smell from the house which was locked from inside. They then informed the police. The police launched an investigation and discovered the bodies. They then arrested Utkarsh, who then admitted the crime.
This incident has sent shockwaves to the community, and we urge our viewers to prioritize communication and seek help in times of conflict.
Thank you for joining us. We urge our viewers to prioritize mental health and seek help when needed.
Ghorpade reporting from Satara News. As you can see, I'm standing in front of the beautiful Sri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum at Rajdhani Satara. So let us delve into the historical iconic weapon Tiger Claws, which is also commonly known as Bhagnag, associated with a great Maratha warrior Sri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. This Bhagnag is placed in this beautiful museum. So let us go inside and have a look.
This Bhagnag is brought to India from London to commemorate the 350th anniversary of famed Maratha ruler's coronation. This iconic Bhagnag is believed to have been used by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to kill the Bijapur Sultanate Afzal Khan in the Battle of Pratapgarh in 1695.
The CM is praising the Cultural Affairs Minister for bringing the Bhagnag back to India from London. After being displayed in Satara Museum, it is going to be displayed in Nagpur and Kolhapur cities for 9 months each, and afterwards it will be housed in Mumbai Museum. However, there is some controversy issue regarding this historical weapon, despite people are showing the huge interest in visiting this historical museum to watch the Bhagnag. This is Isha Ghorpade reporting from Satara News with cameraman Shravani Zadav. Stay tuned for more such historical updates. Thank you.
Welcome back to News Today channel. Good evening, this is Manjari Devi reporting live to shed light on a pressing issue that affects millions around the world: food wastage and hunger. Each day, vast quantities of food are wasted while countless individuals struggle to find their next meal. It is truly heartbreaking to see food, which represents the hard work of our farmers, being discarded so carelessly. In celebrations, events and even in our homes, food waste has become a habit. The good news is that change is possible. Thankfully, organizations like Pasiyara Sori are stepping in to bridge this gap. By recovering surplus food from events and providing it to the hungry, they are providing that every meal can make a difference. Let's now head to our live reporter Kanishka Raghavi, who is on the ground with this inspiring organization to share their story. Over to you, Kanishka.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kanishka Raghavi bringing you an inspiring and heartwarming story live from the Soul Club. Mr. Rajasekar Murali, thank you for joining us today. Welcome, sir. What inspires you to start this organization, especially for the HIV affected people?
இந்த சமுதாய ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுக்கான முதல் காரணம் என்னுடைய வறுமை, என்னுடைய பசி, என்னுடைய துயரம் தான் நான் இந்த சமூக பணி வளர்க்க காரணம். நான் வெறும் 9வது வரைக்கும் தான் படித்தேன். வீட்டோட பொருளாதார சூழ்நிலை என்னால் படிக்க முடியல, படிக்கல. அப்ப அதை தாண்டி வந்து சின்ன சின்ன வேலைகளுக்கு போயிட்டு அப்படி இருக்கும்போது தான் சமூகத்துக்கு தேவையான அடிப்படை என்ன முதல்ல உணவு, இதை எப்படி நம்ம தயார் பண்ணி கொடுக்கலாம் அப்படின் போது எங்கெங்க வினாவுடைய உணவுகள் மீதமாக இருக்குது, அந்த எங்கெல்லாம் கிடைக்கிறோம் கொண்டு போய் ஒரு கிராமங்கள் கொடுக்கறது, இதுக்கான முதல் காரணம் என்னுடைய வறுமை தான்.
Can you explain the process of how the food has been collected and redistributed to all the organizations?
நான் இந்த உணவு பார்த்தா ஒரு வீட்டில் திருமணம் நடந்திருக்கும், ஒரு காதல் நடந்திருக்கும். அந்த சாப்பாடு மீதான உடனே எனக்கு கூப்பிடுவாங்க. நான் சுற்றி இருக்கிற கிராமங்களுக்கு எங்க தேவைப்படுதோ அவங்களுக்கு கொண்டு கொடுப்பேன். இந்த உணவை எடுக்காத சரியா கொண்டு அவங்களுக்கு சேர்த்துவேன். சரியான நேரத்துக்கு கிடைச்சா மட்டுமே.
Over the past 25 years, what is the most memorable moment?
திவ்யாங்க ஒரு குழந்தை முதல் மரணம் அப்படின்னா குழந்தையோட மரணம் கடைசி தடவை எப்படி இருந்துச்சுன்னா காஞ்சி போன கருவல் மாதிரி இருக்குது. அப்படி கிளைமேக்ஸ் அந்த மரணத்துல தான் அந்த குழந்தை உயிர் வந்தது. அதனுடைய இழப்பு இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் எனக்கு தாங்கக்கூடிய சக்தி இல்லை. இதுதான் வந்து என்னுடைய மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு என்னை வழிகேற்படுத்தின ஒரு விஷயம்.
What is the most happiest moment about this organization?
மற்றவங்களை பசியா இருக்கிறது என்னுடைய மகிழ்ச்சி. நான் எல்லாம் வந்து சாப்பாடு கொடுக்கணும், நம்மளை வாங்கி ஓடி போய் சாப்பிடுறோம். மற்றவங்களுடைய சந்தோஷம் தான் என்னுடைய மகிழ்ச்சி.
What message would you like to give to the public about the food wastage?
நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, உணவுகள் ஒரு இடத்துல மீதமாகுது, என்னை கூப்பிட்டு கொடுக்கணும்னு உங்களுக்கு ஞாபகம் வருது. அதை ஏன் காலத்துல நீங்க கொடுக்கணும்? ஃப்ரீயா கொடுக்கலாம், புத்தகம் எடுத்துக்காக நீங்க எந்த நேரம் உணவு கொடுக்கலாம், அதை நான் வாங்க முடியாது. அதை கொண்டு அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க முடியாது, வயிற்றுக்கு சேராம போயிடும். அப்ப கால நேரம் உணவு கொடுங்க.
Thank you, sir, for being such an inspiration. This is Kanishka Ragbi signing off from the line. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kanishka. As we wrap up this inspiring story, it is evident that Pasiyara Sore, under the leadership of Mr. Rajasena Murali, stands as a shining example of humanity, compassion and hope. For over 25 years, this remarkable initiative has transformed excess food into lifelines, bringing dignity and sustenance to countless individuals in need. In a world where food wastage and hunger often go hand in hand, Pasiyara Sore reminds us of the profound impact that small meaningful actions can have. It is a call to each of us to be mindful of the value of food and to contribute towards a world where no one goes hungry. This is Manjari Devi signing off with gratitude for this incredible mission and hope for a future filled with kindness and care. Thank